What's up, guys?
What brings you to Las Vegas?
I'm here for a UFC fight.
Right. You're here for Cynthia.
Cynthia and Rick Glenn. Rick Glenn and Cynthia, they're both on the card. So Rick Glenn's actually next.
Okay.
He's been looking awesome, so wait for that.
Well, what's it been like kind of bringing up that new generation? I see that you guys have been hashtagging it like new school. What's it like working with that new school?
It's been awesome. I mean, and the coolest thing is, I was hanging out with Andrew Coyne, who you guys don't know yet, but you will know. And he's been with me since he was like 11, and he's now cornering Rick Glenn. And we've got Joseph Morales, who's been with me since he was 9, and he just had a big win in Mexico City and getting ready to, go to 10-0. And so it's kind of crazy to see the whole thing come full circle. And the guys stepping up as a coaching staff. Also, we have so many talented guys in the room helping the next generation, and it's all about passion, so it's been cool to see that.
You've always been busy as an entrepreneur. What else do you have on the horizon right now?
Oh man, I've got all sorts of stuff that I've been working on. Some entertainment stuff and of course the team and expanding that. I've been talking about doing something in China, which is going to be pretty exciting. It's not really out there to be talked about yet, but there's a lot of cool stuff that's happening, and just kind of enjoying it and staying busy. I get up early, go to bed late, and work all day.
Is the China thing fight related?
Yeah, we're going to do some, help develop some talent out in China for, do a team alpha male China type of situation. Wow. I think so. That's going to be cool.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I went to the last event over there.
Okay.
We've had some guys come out to us, and actually, our team sponsor, Mountain Lion Aviation, they're Jim Wilkinson. He's a good friend, but also someone that supports our team. He has a lot of relationships in China as well, so it's kind of a cool thing to see UFC going over there and the sport expanding, to the most populated portion of the world. It's exciting.
What do you think of the talent there?
It's really good.
Really?
I think when I was over there, 5 Chinese fighters, and they all won, and they all had tough fights. It wasn't like they're, given cupcakes. It was tough. It was tough competition, and they're talented. I mean, that's the martial arts is kind of born there in that in that part of the world in a lot of ways. So it's cool to see it come full circle.
Would you consider doing something like that in India as well?
Yeah, talking about India. Both those places. Fighting is such an international thing. It's the most primal thing, but the most common thing. Everybody loves a good fight, and everybody has probably gotten in some sort of conflict in some shape or form. So it's cool to see the whole world. It's kind of bringing people together, I think, which is awesome.
So I understand Cody's back in California. He took a vacation in Thailand, right?
Yeah.
Baby Moon, if you will.
Baby Moon, yeah. Him and his wife. She goes every single year, so he got to tag along this year.
I'm just wondering how he's doing a month later. We haven't heard much from him. Have you had a chance to talk to him? How he's assessing life as not being champion?
In his mind, he's still a champion. And once a champ, always a champ. But he definitely is hungry. It was really cool to see him directly after the fight, the way he reacted. Because he's not the easiest guy in practice. If somebody gets the better of him or there's something, he's he can throw a little fit on occasion. To see the way he handled a loss like that was awesome, and just spoke a lot about him as an individual. And I was excited for the things that he said directly afterwards, which were all about forward thinking and about getting onto the next path and get that strap back. So he's 25 years old, and 25 or 26, and he's excited. He went out on vacation and just ended up training the whole time, which he was trying to relax. It didn't work out. That's pretty common, I think, but it was cool to see him just grinding over there on vacation.
You seem to have a very special relationship with Sage Northcutt. You were
Yeah.
in the corner. He won. What did you make of his performance, and what would you? I know he has another fight now, but how are you sort of mapping out? Is he doing better than you thought? You guys seem to be really
absolutely.
clicking.
Sage, as far as a positive energy, I've never really met anyone like that. He brings joy wherever he goes. He's like Santa with abs, So it's really cool to have him in the room. He brightens the mood. Everybody loves him, and he's genuine. His whole the way he comes off is real genuine, and he learns super fast. I mean, it's crazy. So it's just finding those little bits and pieces to fit into an already great skill set and a great mindset and good genetics and a lot of hard work. And I think, I'm encouraging him. He's too nice to say he's going to go get the strap, but that's in his mind. And I don't know, at what point does somebody just decide they want to be a champion? I think he's probably had that for a long time, but I'm encouraging him to voice it because I think he can be a world champion, and we're on a path to do that. So, it's been awesome to see him progress, and I think, he's going to be a world champ.
Is Yair Rodriguez still doing work with you guys?
No, Yair just came out for a couple weeks, and he talked about possibly coming out, but I know he's got a pretty good situation where he's at. He was talking about possibly bringing a trainer and doing some camps, but we're friendly with Yair, and he's welcome, but he hasn't made the move.
Along the same lines as Sage, have you been, I don't know, maybe surprised a little bit at Cynthia's progression? I mean, this could be her 5th win in 2017.
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, Cynthia has been beating up guys. We used to, when a lot of the European guys would come in that hadn't had a great wrestling background, we'd always, baptize them with a beating from Cynthia. She's been a killer in our room for so long, and to see her, finally getting the recognition and the opportunity is awesome, because it wasn't like, she's been hidden on our map. We've already known she was there, but she was fighting 125s. Then she broke her arm in the same place, I think 2 or 3 times. So she was and she also had this thing where she wanted to get an amateur title before she turned pro, which I was like, I was trying to talk her out of it, but I was like, she should have been pro a lot earlier than she was. So she's going to be a world champ, and she knows it, and that's exciting.
How would these new guys that come into the gym and you put Cynthia up against them, how would they react to that?
They fight their ass off because they have to. And, it's one of those things where, she's as good as anybody on the ground, and she has that intensity, and she's strong. So, she can put anybody in a world of hurt.
You talk about championship mindset. I find that interesting. That do you feel that there's a lot of fighters that don't think of themselves as champions, and at what point do they have to vocalize it, or when do they become that mindset?
I think there's a lot of fighters that don't see themselves that way, and that's a problem. I mean, if you're not in the sport to be the best, then you're on the wrong path. And I had to learn that myself. It was a growing process for me, making goals as a college athlete, as a high school athlete, and never writing down to be a champion was kind of weird. I'd always want to get to the state tournament and be an All-American, and it was something I learned after college, that you have to voice it and have to think, I want to be the best, and I'm going to be the best. And so sometimes it's just relaying that message and printing it on them, throughout the workouts. I mean, we have a real good energy in our gym, and we want everybody thinking that, so it's a process.
Who's going to be the next champion out of the gym?
Well, there's a lot of guys that are going to be champions. We've got Joseph Morales, who he's been with us since 9. He's looking for the championship. Benito Lopez. I could name all my guys that are going to be. For somebody that you have never heard of and is still an amateur, Kaleo Romero. He's a kid that is a state runner-up in California, and he has to. I talk about this all the time at the end of practice, but he has to be. He's always in the gym. He called me and he's like, hey, it's Saturday night, and he's like, Uriah, I just set off the alarm. I didn't realize everybody left. I'm in the shower, and I was the last one to leave, but the alarm's going off in the gym, and I'm like, all right, cool. So that kid right there, Kaleo, is a kid that I have high hopes for, and he's like I said, he's an amateur. He's about to turn pro.
I know you have to go, but a quick prediction for Calvillo Esparza. Can you break it down for us?
Esparza is tough, but I just think it's going to be. Wouldn't normally say this, but I think it's going to be a one-sided affair. I'm not sure where she can better Cynthia. Cynthia's solid on her stand-up. Her stand-up's been getting better and better, and if she wants to take her down, that's going to be a world of hurt. I think we're looking at a world champ, so in my mind, Cynthia's going to show that she's heads and shoulders above her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.